Hi people, how you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here and I want to say happy new year to everyone. I really hope that this year is going to be filled with joy, light, health and just happiness. Okay, so we are going to be getting into Charlie Kirk's videos today, Turning Point USA. You guys already know. So this one actually got me interested. Like obviously any of Charlie Kirk's videos I get into, I'm definitely interested in it, but this is like extra, okay, because it has to do with a trans activist. I really just want to listen to these people, to be honest. Like, this is a judge free zone, to be honest. Like, I do not buy what I've heard so far. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not judging as well. I'm actually very open to just know what is going on, like what's going through their heads, okay? So seeing that Charlie Kirk savagely picks apart a trans student activist, I want to know where the trans student's head is at. Okay, so if you guys would love to see this video through me, please do stick around from the very start to the very end. Okay, with that being said, let us just hop right into the video.
Probably, I was told to keep it short, so I will. So you touched on LGBTQ rights a lot. You've talked about, trans bathrooms, you getting banned from Twitter, very, awful. But I'm wondering if I can get a straight answer, yes or no. Do you think the acceptance of queer people in society is a good thing?
Well, define acceptance and define queer, because when I grew up, that was like a slander. So I don't know, that's like a thing now.
Queer being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and what was the other word you asked?
What do you
me to
mean
find?
acceptance? What do you mean?
Acceptance being that society accepts that, doesn't try to change that, doesn't try to say that it's not a social, like it's not a good thing for you to be gay, it's not a good thing for you to be trans, and in our institutions also just offering them resources to, just come to terms with their sexuality, not feel bad about it. Basically, by acceptance, I generally mean society shouldn't make people feel bad about who they are. So, do you agree with that?
No. I mean, we should feel bad about all sorts of things. So, I mean, yeah, happy to get the mic back up. But, I mean, I'll just ask you a very simple question, and this will tell, what is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So, So do you think a definition of someone able to become pregnant would be a woman?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So if someone can become pregnant, would that person be defined as a woman?
Depends on if they identify as a woman.
Right. So, okay, we're now getting to the root of the issue. So do you believe that truth is objective or subjective? Do you believe in absolute truth?
Sure.
Okay, so if you believe in absolute truth, shouldn't we have absolute terms of what a infant-bearing or infant-birthing person is, otherwise known as a woman?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you this a different way, I suppose. So if anyone can identify at anything at any time, correct?
Anyone can identify
as a woman or a man, you can just choose at any time, right?
Gender? Well,
sure.
Gender identity isn't switching genders all the time. It just depends,
But that's your position, right? That's fair to say? That you could change your gender?
My position is that you should accept people's gender identity, and you shouldn't try to shame them out of it.
So let me ask you, should we accept people that think they're younger than they actually are? Because that's a mental condition where people say, I identify as an 8-year-old, but they're really 50. Should we accept someone be able to say they're younger?
No, but I think that's a very false equivalence.
Why is it a false equivalence?
Because there's scientific research supporting that gender identity is something that is, there's scientific research that supports people and says that if you identify as a certain gender, then that is, your gender. There's a paper on Scientific American that I found very interesting that said, it has to do with, your brain formation in the womb, where gender identity forms, but it's different from sex. That's very different from a disorder where you say, I'm not actually my age, because...
Well, hold on. You just agreed with me. You said it's a brain formation issue. It's a brain formation...
I didn't say it was a disorder.
Well, so you don't think transgenderism is a disorder?
No.
What is gender dysphoria?
Gender dysphoria is when you're very uncomfortable with your own body, and that usually relates to gender, and that can usually be treated if you choose to transition to...
Right, so it's a mental condition, right?
Gender dysphoria is, but transgenderism is not.
What's the difference?
The difference between gender dysphoria and transgenderism? Yes. Being transgender means that you don't identify with the gender you're born with. Gender dysphoria means you're uncomfortable with your body. So they're two different things.
No, so you cannot be quote-unquote transgender without suffering from gender dysphoria. So let me ask you one more question. So you believe that we can dictate pronouns. Can I choose my adjectives? Can I decide to be like super rich? Or like, can I decide to be small? Like, is there anything objective that we have to actually admit? Or can you just change anything at any time?
I think people should have the right to determine their pronouns. And I don't think...
No, how about adjectives?
I don't think people actually do that, so I don't know why that's something you're...
Well, of course, like if someone says, I declare I'm rich, it's no longer than saying I'm declare I'm a man. Your chromosomes aren't that way. You don't get to choose what your reality is, do you?
Gender identity is reality.
Okay, so anyone could be anything. Let me ask, how about species reality? Can I change my species?
No.
Why?
Not.
There's people that identify as cats and dogs all the time. It's a serious mental condition. It is. It's treated all the time. Tens of thousands of cases every single year. So basically, if you believe in absolute truth, which you say you do, why wouldn't you believe in absolute truth when it comes to chromosomal structure?
Because gender and chromosomal sex are two different things.
That's right, according to your opinion. Got it. So, but now you want to impose that opinion on the rest of society, right? You can have whatever opinion you want. Here's our position. That opinion should now not apply to all of a sudden saying that men and women's sports should be conflated. Final question. Did you find a moral problem with the University of Pennsylvania swimmer changing from a man to a woman and winning the NCAA championship, defeating other women?
Well, I'm not familiar, but I'm pretty sure that the NCAA has some rules that makes it so people who transition have, like, kind of a competitive, fair thing. So I haven't done much research into those rules, but
yeah, okay. So
usually
let me catch you up to speed. 462nd best male swimmer, best female swimmer, NCAA champion. Do you see a problem with that?
Are you suggesting that she transitioned to a woman to get better at swimming?
Of course. And we shouldn't allow that to happen.
Why would you transition yourself just to become better at a sport? Who does that?
Because you're a narcissist. That's why. Because it's like saying, why would anyone steal anything? Why would anyone cut in line? People do bad things. It's not up to us as society to accommodate the rules for your impulses to go do bad things. Last question. Do you think there's differences between men and women?
Was this the actual last question?
Yeah, last. I'm curious. No, I'm curious because I can't believe you're paying for this. It's like so interesting.
Well, there are actual differences between men and women, yes, in terms of, chromosomes, as you mentioned. So, yeah, sure. Okay, so therefore we agree that men and women have differences. We should define society around those differences. And one of those differences is that women they have lower testosterone levels, and they could be easily exploited by men, which is what happens far too often, and it's incumbent on men who have higher testosterone levels, who are physically stronger to protect women against the exploitation of men who think they are women. That's a moral question and a moral claim. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Trouble. There is trouble on earth. Goodness. Oh my goodness. He is consciously, with so much effort, trying to deceive himself. Like, he is seeing the craziness and the silliness in what he's saying, but he's like, no, you gotta stand strong. You have to believe in what you believe in. Because why is there selection in identity? Why can people only identify as a man, woman, they, she, he? The whole thing, right? Why is it selective? Why? Like, what is the logic behind it? He said there's a scientific reason to people feeling some type of way. See, the thing about the world and the thing about genetics is that it's very funny, right? Genetics is crazy. To be honest, genetics can mess you up, okay? I'm aware of people who, like females who have some male features, right? And I'm aware of some males that have some female features, right? And there is like a scientific explanation for that. But even in that sense, that doesn't make them the gender features they have. I don't know how you guys, let me explain this to you. So we all know that, like, the male hormones actually, they produce chin hair, like beards and stuff, right? And we kind of like attribute that to a man. And in a case where you see a woman who's growing a beard, some people could tease that person, boo the person, and be like, oh, you're a man because you're growing beards. But in that sense, that female is actually growing beard, but that doesn't make her a male. And that isn't even enough reason for her to say that she was meant to be a male. Okay, so see, like, I'm aware that the world is free, right? I am for liberality, okay? And most especially America is a free country. It's the place of freedom. So yes, everyone can do whatever they want. Everyone can be whoever they are, but do not try to brainwash everyone into thinking that insanity is okay. I would really appreciate a transgender person who is aware that they, like, if I see a transgender man and he transgender, he turned himself from a woman to a man, right? If that person really still accepts that biologically I'm a woman, but I want to live the life as a man, because that's what I want to do, right? I'm gonna respect that. Like, you do you, but do not want to do something that's silly, something that's crazy, and want to make me sensible to be crazy as well. Because no, you don't have that much right. You have that right. You have that much right over yourself. You have that much right over your body. You have that much right over your choices. But you do not have that much right over my choices and my senses and my reasoning. Okay? I don't want to get so worked up over this, but it was just so crazy because this man was saying something and was trying to contradict himself, because obviously I feel like he's knowledgeable, like he's sensible, he knows these things, but he just wants to, I don't know, would I say if he wants to follow trend? I don't know. You guys, like, I am very curious. I want to hear a trans activist tell me something that would make sense with belief, would make sense with biology, would make sense with the Bible, would make sense with inception of humans. Like, I just want somebody to tell me something that would make sense, and then I'm gonna understand and I'm gonna be sold. But in the meantime, I don't get it, but I'm not judging. But you don't get the right to force people to accept things that doesn't make sense to them, because, like, you're trying to force people to accept you for who you want to be when you don't even want to accept yourself for who you are. The ones that really drive me crazy are the ones who say they're the Christian transgenders. They said they're Christians, and I'm like, Christian transgenders. So you've read the Bible? I want to know how they are interpreting the Bible. Because I heard someone say, oh, God is love. God said to love your neighbors. God said to love everyone. Okay. Go marry everyone then. Go marry everyone. Go marry every living being, every breathing animal. Because we're all animals. Just higher animals, right? But it's super crazy. But yes, we did get into this. I think I got ahead of myself a little bit, but I think this is just one of the things that I'm quite passionate about. But yeah, I would love to know what y'all think about this down in the comment box. Please do share your opinions, your thoughts, and all of that good stuff with me down in the comment box. I really appreciate it. Already said. Thank you all so much for joining me. Do well to stay healthy, do well to stay happy, and hit that subscribe button if you know you do enjoy videos as such and you would love to get notification of videos like this. Do well to give the video a big thumbs up, because it genuinely helps my channel and just makes me happy in general. So I'll plan to the very next one. People, let's keep on staying safe and healthy. Bye.